Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 60 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. And wait a second, we did the skew last video. Okay, we're not going to do that today. Today, in chapter 60, I wanted to show you how I made the handles or pulls for my bathroom vanity drawer and drawers and doors. So hang in there. I think you'll enjoy this. I certainly had fun making these things. I think this is an interesting and creative design. So all you have to do is watch. Hello everyone. It's a nice sunny day outside. And I just thought my bathroom vanity build is kind of winding to a close here after 6 months. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but lots of things came up, and I'm not going to talk about that a whole lot today. But I realized the one thing I haven't shown you yet in this build is the process of building the handles or pulls for the drawers and the two doors. And I already showed you how I made my drawer face. Now this is my prototype. This is where I experimented first. And it's not really sanded all that good, and I didn't bother even spraying the back of it. But it isn't filled either. So, but you saw how I made this already, how I had the jigs and my routers to make all of this. So that's well documented. But the handle, where is it here? The handle part, it's nice to be organized, eh? So this is what my prototype looks like. Now, I have all this done already. I'm just showing you what I did. The prototype is actually pretty good. My wife wanted this smooth, this junction here between the face and the handle to be smooth. Nothing will hook on it. So this is pretty good. Now I lamented the fact, falling off my chair. I lamented the fact that I was using expensive ebony for the handles. And you know what? I'm not using a lot. So, okay, so this is the piece I actually used. So to where my thumb is, in this space here, I can get 3 pulls out of that. So I only used about that much material. Hope that's high enough. I only used about that much material. So that isn't bad. I can live with that. And I think it's going to be durable and long-lasting, and I'm happy with that. So what I did today is I'm just going to show you a little bit. This is only a 1/4 inch thick, and although ebony is really tough, I thought my scroll saw would leave a nicer finish, a little less sanding. So I've already got it to length. And this is the middle piece, so this isn't cut, this is here. This is what happened. That came out of there like that. So I'm going to cut this out, and we'll see how fast it goes. My goal, these aren't hard to make. It's just basically figuring out what you want, drawing a pattern onto your wood that is already sanded to the right thickness and cut to the right length, and then cutting it out and sanding it. That's all there's to it. Very simple handle. So I'm going to get going here because I don't want this video to be an hour long. Here we go. I think I'm going to have to put a light on this saw because I'm finding with the scroll saw, uh, it's just a little too dark. So yeah, I need to put a light. Also, if you're watching this and you know somebody that has a scroll saw like this and they want to sell it, I would love to have it. I need to have two of these for some of the teaching I'd like to do. And this is a cheap scroll saw. It's got a nice stand. It works really good. And especially when you realize that since DeWalt, or pardon me, Delta went out of business, Makita parts with a little modification fit nicely. Maybe I'll show you that in a video. Okay, let's keep cutting. I don't want to make this take too long. There it is. So move it around a bit so you can see it. That's all there is to it. So now I'm going to start sanding this. And I think what I am going to do is we're going to head over to my new belt and disc sander setup, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, hang in there. And I'm at my spindle sander and my disc sander, and you might remember this or recognize this from my latest dust collection video. And yeah, now I remember to open the blast gates when I'm here, so like I forgot in the video, but it seems to be working really good. Like I said, this machine needs a little bit more stuff around the opening so it draws a little better. But the disc sander seems to work fairly well. So I'm going to sand the inside now on my oscillating spindle sander, and I'm going to turn the dust collector on and the machine. Oh, I've been having a little trouble with this switch, so I'm going to get this running first to make sure it runs. Okay, now we'll add the noise and we'll sand a little bit. This thing runs a long time, but so far so good. So what I've done is I've basically roughly shaped the handle. I'm quite happy with the way the inside and the outside are parallel, and now it's to shape it. And to shape it, I use my Dremel and flex shaft. So let's head over there and we'll do that quickly, and then we'll soon have a handle. Okay, and heading into the very last of the shaping steps, I've got it parallel, good enough parallel this way. Now I want to shape the handle, and the handle is kind of going to have, the back is going to be round, and it's going to kind of come to a little bit of more of a triangle in the front, like sloped down and sloped up, and nice and smooth. That's what we want. Okay, this won't take too long. That feels nice. There. That looks to be quite nice. Now all that's left is some hand sanding and spray the finish on, and we're done. We'll be back in a bit. Well, with the shaping done, it's time to start sanding. I guess with 100 grit, we're kind of shaping a little bit more yet, but I always like to start with 100. And the shape I'm looking for is something comfortable to hold. So when you're sanding something like this, rely on feel. Like I'm constantly feeling this handle. What feels good? Where is there an edge that I notice? And your hands become a very, very effective finishing tool. So this is pretty much sanded with 100. I did a little bit of work off camera. I'm kind of happy with that. For video, I would just go a couple of steps here. This is 180 grit. And since I'm not, since all of you know how to sand, I don't think I need to bother showing you a whole lot of that. This is 220. Now the thing with ebony being such a dense wood, I like to sand it further than 220. So for the handles that went on my cabinets, I sanded to at least 400. And I contemplated going to 600. So yeah, it's important to have them nicely sanded. Okay, so let's say I sanded to 400. I kind of like the feel. There's only one thing I saved for the very end, and that's to round this end off. So this is going to go into where the router bit stops is a 1/4 inch diameter round or semicircle. So I need to transfer that onto this end. And I do that by eye. And I just use my flex shaft and Dremel to do that. So let's get that going. This is not hard to do. I think that's good. This is really handy to have one of these in the shop. I have this plugged in and hanging up on my pencil sharpener all the time. So if I want to just touch something or sand something quickly, I just grab it. So that's handy. Okay, just cleaning them up. These don't have to be sanded all that well because you'll never see them. I'm just kind of doing this for my own enjoyment right about now. That's plenty good enough. This is going into the handle, so you'll only see from about there. I don't know if you can see that. from about the top here is all you'll see. This will all be in the oak. So not too concerned about that. The strange thing about working with ebony is it looks like you've been working out in the field. You turn black fairly quickly. But this is ready for finish now, and I'm going to bring you back when I'm going to spray this. Okay, and we're ready to put some finish on. This is a really, really little handle, and to hold it effectively is hard. So what I do for these, or what I did, sorry, is I put a wee little bit of hot glue. Just a wee little bit, and I stick it on these narrow pieces of, this is a scrap of Baltic birch I just cut up. One of the things before spraying ebony is to make sure that it's clean. Sometimes I wipe them off with lacquer thinner. This time I didn't. I just got it as nice and clean as I could, kind of with a cloth. But rubbing it or spraying, not spraying, using a rag with lacquer thinner is a good way to clean this, in my opinion. Okay, so I like Krylon finishes, but it's hard to find around here. Canadian Tire is, I think, one of the few places that I know, other than my local lumberyard here. I'm not even sure if they stock Krylon anymore. But I should be doing this spraying either outside or someplace in a booth, but I can't. I don't have one. So to do these, I held it like this and kind of sprayed in the back here to get the underside, and then I flipped it over and did the same thing here. So I will try to get this done for you. Gotta watch. Okay, I'm going to spray it from the underside here. There we go. Okay, now I think I have the back. Yes, the back is shiny. So then I'm just going to, there. And that's it. That's one coat. Now what I would do is I would let this dry. And I like to move it around a little bit when it's drying in case I got it kind of heavy at one spot, which when you're spraying something like this, it's easy to do. So I'm just going to move it a bit till the Krylon sets, and it sets pretty quickly. And it just makes those things just stand out, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to let this dry and probably spray another coat off camera. And then we're going to install it in the drawer face, which is really simple when you get it to this stage. So we'll be back in a bit to finish this off. And it's a little later in the day, and off camera I sprayed another coat on here, and it's looking pretty nice right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy. I like this G2 stuff from Lee Valley. I think they're still selling it. I don't know. My bottles are getting a little older already. And I don't need much. My problem is I always mix a little too much. Oops. There we go. 2 to 1 is how you mix this stuff. And I didn't really grab a stir stick before I started. So this has been my epoxy board. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit and get the rest ready. Now this actually just comes off. If you have to be careful, you don't want to break anything. And then if you can just peel the hot glue off the bottom, which works fairly nicely. Sometimes you're lucky and you just grab it and it comes off like a big scab. And sometimes you're not. Now, the one thing that can change things a little bit here is the finish can affect the fit of this. And I see that isn't going to be the case here. That just drops in nicely. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of epoxy on each end. My handy dandy stick here. The bottom is especially important because that's going to touch the bottom of the route. Okay, so then look which way it's going to go. I like it this way. And in it goes. Now the other thing that you want to make sure you do, and yep, there it is, sorry. Step out of camera a little bit. And I just want to make sure that I wipe all the visible epoxy off. I don't want to see a lump of epoxy when this is all dry. And there you have it. This really doesn't do things justice. When they're all installed, it's nice. I'm really happy with this design. I wish I could claim it was mine, but I did see it on the internet. I only saw it once and I can't seem to find it again, but like I say, my search skills aren't all that they're cracked. They should be, I guess. But anyway, to whoever posted this idea, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Even if mine isn't exactly the same as yours, it was seeing that that example that got me thinking along these lines. So anyway, thank you for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these all, and I'm going to bring you in and show you the vanity. Okay, we'll be back in a bit. And here we are. The bathroom vanity is almost completely done. Because we have two drawers sliding out of that section there, I didn't realize when I built it that I needed to have hinges on those doors that pulled the door completely out of the opening. So Lee Valley just had one set like that Thursday when we were in, and assure me they'll have another pair by next Thursday. So we'll do that then. And I have the custom drawer, the one with the cutout for the sink. I just put that together today, so hopefully maybe by the end of next week this will be completely done. Looking at the handles though, I think they're wonderful. I really like the look. I like I said earlier, I get tired of the pulls that everybody has, and this I've not seen anywhere else, and I love it. So I think the color, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bouncy here. I think the color with the oak and everything looks really good, and the handles, the black of the handles ties into the granite counter perfectly. So yeah, I'm happy. More importantly, I think Sheila's happy, and I think this all worked out fairly well. But for a close-up view, to me, they look wonderful. I have a few little things to sort out with the drawer slides. I think because some of these I've taken apart so often, they don't want to stay locked in anymore. But I'm quite confident it'll all work out. Very pleased with this all. Nice smooth doors, easy to clean. This should be awesome. So we'll go back into the shop and finish this one out. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video about building drawer and door pulls for my bathroom vanity. The bathroom vanity has become kind of a symbol of my slowness over the last few months, but in all fairness, I have been doing a lot of other things, and sometimes waiting for parts and pieces and things like that. And I don't show you everything that I'm doing. So should I have just gone to IKEA and bought one? Well, okay, I live in Saskatchewan. I just can't go to IKEA. There isn't one in the province. So, but that's not my style anyway. Anybody can do that. I have a little bit of skill as a builder, and I like to use that. I like to be creative, and those things are important to me. And I have to live in that house. So I want to be able to get up in the morning, and when I go into the washroom, to look at that vanity and say, hey, I'm happy with that. I built that. That pride in craftsmanship and workmanship means a lot to me. So with that in mind, 60 videos. I didn't think I'd get that far this year, but switching to the 2 video a week format certainly has accelerated that. I wish I could accelerate my subscribers as I accelerated my production on YouTube. So if you have friends, and I surely hope you do, tell them about this channel. Let's try to. I'd like to see if I could build this into something worthwhile. So that way, maybe 10 years from now, if I'm still around, maybe it's just, my grandkids wouldn't be the only ones watching this, and I know one does. So anyway, with that in mind, please like, share, and subscribe. And it's Friday today. This will go up today yet, I would think. And we'll shoot another video towards the end of next week. And yeah, we'll just keep rolling along. It is really making me work though. There's a lot of things to get done, because some of my projects are 30, 40 hour projects, and condensing them to a 40-minute video, that's a bit of a challenge. So anyway, yeah, have a great weekend and a super start to next week, and we'll talk to you towards the end of next week. Hang in there, take care.